Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to AFT Studios in Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining us again. We are the Root Generation Virtuous Women International, and today we are talking about the role of men in our society, the role of husbands and men. And my name is Uloma Chiakwalo, and I would like to introduce those in the studio today with me. And on my right, I have Cherish.
Hello.
And
Cynthia Zuniga.
and then on my left, I have,
Antonia King.
and I want us to talk about the role of our husbands and men. And again, we are the Root Generation Virtuous Women in Houston, Texas. And so the role of our husbands and the role of men in our community, in our homes, is something that we want to discuss. And today we have to talk about what it says the role is in the Bible, because it's, even though we're wives and women, we're not the experts, but God in the Bible has given us directions and instructions and guidance of what the role of our husband should be. And because we're virtuous women, we like to start from Proverbs 31, from 10 to 31, which is our anthem. And today we're going to start from verse 23, and I'll read it. Verse 23 says, in the Bible, let me get it on here. So, let's see. Proverbs 31, verse 23. And it says, her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. And a man that sits with the elders in the gates and is known in the land must be a good man. And if you read the entire Proverbs 31 from 10 to 31, you see the qualities of a virtuous woman. But today we'll talk about our men. And we wanted to start from this verse just to show that this man is a man that's a man of wisdom. First of all, he's known. I'm sure in our society, people that are known have a reason why they're known. And either is because of the contribution they make in the society, maybe because of charitable things that they do, like, it could be maybe because they're in politics, they could be in government, in leadership, or they could be spiritual leaders, like pastors. So this man is known. That's what the Bible says. The husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders. So he's known. The elders know him. And we know that elders, when you talk about elders, you talk about people that have wisdom. They're old, their age. Wisdom comes with their age. They're elders. When you want to ask something, or when you want to find out about something, you would go to an elder to seek counsel. So this man sits in the gates with the elders, and that's the 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 husband of a virtuous woman. He sits at the gate. He's known in the town. So I want you to talk about what you think about the role of the husband of a virtuous woman, or the role of husbands in general. What do you think about that, Sister Cynthia?
That's a very good question. The role of a husband in a household is very important. First of all, he looks after the things of God in the household, because the word also speaks of that the husbands love the wife as Christ loved the church.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he places order in the household.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important for a man to know who he is in the household. First of all, he's a godly man. He's wise. He provides for the household.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, it's important for a father or a man to be in a home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just his presence.
Right.
If it's he has children,
Mm-hmm.
if he has a son, the son looks up to him,
Right.
and the son models after him.
Right.
It's not only what he says, but what he does.
Right.
And this husband, he's not a lazy man.
Mm-hmm.
He's industrious.
Right.
He goes out. He take care of his business,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he comes home, he just his presence in the house is just wonderful. Because I remember when my father was when he came home from working, he was the only one that worked, and when Daddy's home, I mean, we knew we would get treats.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we sat down and we just listened to our father about how his day went.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important for a man to be in the house, and we looked at our father as a provider. He gave us such great love, and we always wanted to be just like our dad. He provided our education, he provided the house, he provided the food, the shelter, but mainly he taught us who God was in the household.
And that's very important, because
Mm-hmm.
when you teach a child in the way to go when they grow up, they will not forget.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Bible says. So that the role that he played in your life, and you still remember it, he made the home warm. Some homes, you expected, you were expecting something when Dad comes home.
Yes.
And he never failed. When he comes home, there's happiness. He shares how his day went, and you feel that love. And the role of a husband is, he in the home is also to love the children, love the wife, and take care of them. So, and you mentioned something about wisdom, and I like that. When a wise man also knows that this is what I need to do. I need to, move in this wise. I need to invest in this. This is what is crucial for my family. I need to lead my family. We need to go to church on Sunday. And, I need to take the kids to church on Sunday. I need to make sure that I have what they need, what they're going to eat. I need to make sure that, so sometimes sometimes in the society, the women are expected to do most of these things, and we help to do it. But if you think about it, it's the man that leads it. He's the man that is in charge of it, making sure that these things are being done, and the wife supports him in making it done. And you think about the Bible in the book of Genesis, when God made Adam, he prepared everything for him, and he made him and said, take care of it, man it, make sure everything is running right. And he named all the animals, and eventually God made Eve as his companion to help him, because he was lonely. Even though he had everything, he was lonely. So that role is still the same. Not only are you going to be representing the family in the gates, but also in the home, using that wisdom that you have, that God has given you, to provide for the family, to make sure there's love, there's harmony in the family, that everything is working fine. So that's wonderful. I like that, the way you talk about that. Now we're going to go to Ruth. We're going to talk about Ruth, because Ruth is like I said, we're Ruth generation virtuous women. We're always going to go to the role that Boaz played in the life of Ruth. And if reading from Ruth chapter 3, from verse 10 to 11, it says, we're going to talk. This is if you have your Bible, you can read the entire book of Ruth to know the story of Ruth and Boaz and Naomi. But this chapter 3, verse 10 and 11, is talking about when Ruth, who is a Moabite, went to Boaz she listened to her mother-in-law, and she went to Boaz to redeem her, because she found out that this is the culture of the children of Israel, that when your husband dies, the relative had to redeem you. The relative had to, take you in. But because there's nobody else, the mother-in-law cannot have children. She has to. This is the next relative in line. So she went to him, and she said to him, she did everything her mother-in-law told her to do. And verse 10 verse 10 and 11 talks about, when she approached him that night, and Boaz then responded to her, because Boaz is a wise man. He's a family man, you can tell. And when you read that, he said to Ruth, he said, "Blessed are you of the Lord, my daughter, for you have shown more kindness at the end than at the beginning, in that you did not go after young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, do not fear. I will do for you all that you request. For all the people of my town know that you are a virtuous woman." So now, Ruth is requesting. She's a virtuous woman, because he called her virtuous because she didn't go for young men. She wants to follow the family, the laws of the land. She did that because she's a virtuous woman. Now, in return, Boaz now did what he's supposed to do, what a wise man is supposed to do, what a potential husband is supposed to do, as she has shown it. So for us as virtuous women, and women in general, when we do that, when we follow the commands of God, when we obey God, when we, in this dispensation, because I know that happened many years ago, but now, as we submit ourselves to Christ as women, young women, we have a young daughter with us here today, because we're talking about women and family and our husbands. When we submit ourselves to Christ and, submit ourselves to Jesus and do the things of God, and this is what happens. So Boaz now, in return, have seen that Ruth is doing what she's supposed to do. He is ready to cooperate with her. So next chapter talks about, chapter 4 of Ruth, now talks about what Boaz did as a wise man. Boaz he went to the next brother, a relative who was older than him, to request, because he knew, he's a wise man. He knew how it works. He knows the law. He didn't just say, okay, I've heard what you said. I'm going to do it. Move in with me. I'm going to marry you. No, he knew that he's a wise man. There's a way to do things. It has to be done the right way. And it has to be done the right way. So what he did, he went and called that relative and called 10 elders to come and witness as he tries to go for Ruth. And what did he do? He calls them, and he tells the relative, he said, that Naomi has a land and she wants to sell the land. He said, you buy the land. And when you buy the land, you redeem the brother, their uncle that died. And the brother said, I don't want to buy the land. I don't want that responsibility. And then, you can read Ruth chapter 4 from beginning to end to know how the story ended. The story ended is he now, when the relative says, I don't want to buy the land, I don't want that responsibility, then he said, okay, in front of all this witness, all the elders, you're saying that you don't want anything that has to do with Naomi and, the land. And he said, go ahead, redeem. Take everything. And he used wisdom, knowing that he didn't mention anything about taking Ruth as a wife. All he was talking about was the land. And the guy said, I release all authority to you as the next relative. Redeem everything that concerns our brother and the sons, that I just take it. So, and then from there, he was given the authority to take over Ruth as his wife, because this relative had now given him right to redeem everything. So he took her in, and at the end, everything worked out for her, and he became a good husband and also a good father, because they had children. So now, that's another way to look at the role of our men and husbands. Another way to look at it is from Job. We all know the story of Job, and I want us to talk about Job based on what the scripture says. If you read Job chapter 1, verse 8, then you will see what God said about about Job. God said in verse 8, he said, "Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and an upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil." So as we talk about the role of husbands and men in general, we want to talk about what God said about Job. To him, to God, Job was a blameless, upright man, one that fears God. So we want to, discuss that. God says that this is his sample. This is his sample. And I know there are so many other men in the Bible that, did great things, but we're just talking about Job, how God came out and was bragging to the Satan how good Job is. And then going to Job 29 from verse 2. If you start reading from verse 2, then you see what Job did before he lost everything. What was his life all about? This man that God called blameless, upright, that had no evil, no sin. What did he do? From verse 2, it talks about that. He says, let me read. He said, "Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when God watched over me." First of all, Job is a man that loved God. God watched over him. So our husbands, and our men, where do you start? Because the man will say, okay, where do I start to be this fit into this role or fit into this expectation? First of all, is God. You have to submit to God, give your life to Christ. If you haven't done it, do it today. Give your life to Jesus, submit to him, find a living church to join, and begin to work with God. Begin to read the Bible, begin to study the Bible, and study the life of men in the Bible, men that God used mightily, and begin to walk in that wise. And then he says in verse 16, "When his lamp shone upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness." God was with him. This is a man that everything he does, that God was with him. Job is a man that God guided. He says everywhere he walked, the light of God shined in it. He's a man that God, our husband should be. This is our expectation. My expectation. I believe every woman will want their husband to be a man that, I don't know, maybe I'm just the only one that wants my husband or future husband to be a man that the light of God shines in their way when they go. Because when God's light is shining in your way, everything you do, you will not miss your steps. You will know that you have direction for your home, for your family, for your marriage, for your career, for everything. You will have a direction because God is with you. And when you keep reading down to chapter 29 of Job, you will see how God, his life was. It talks about when he was in his prime. He had children. His children were all around him. He had, his life was good. It says in verse 6, he said, "When my steps were bedded with cream, and the rock poured out rivers of oil for me." That's the man that God watches over. Everything works well for him. He trusts God for his family. And he said his feet was bedded in cream. That's, what that means? That means he was doing well. He was doing well. When he went out to the, verse 7 says, "When I went out to the gate by the city, when I took my seat in the open square, the young men saw me and hid, and the aged arose and stood." Verse 9, "The princes refrained from talking and put their hand on their mouth." He commanded respect. He commanded respect when he walked out. This is a man, from verse 2, he said he trusts God. God shine his light on his way. That's what we, as virtuous women, that's what we expect for our husbands, to submit to God. And not only submitting to God and not doing something about it. When you submit to God, you submit everything. Your business, your daily life, you submit to God. And he said, in verse 9, "The princes refrained from talking and put their hands on their mouth." Verse 10, "The voice of nobles were hushed and their tongues stuck to their roof. When they heard the ear heard, then it blessed me. And when the eye saw, then it approved me, because I delivered the poor who cried out. This is also another role of men in our society, husbands. They, not only are you concerned about your family, you also concerned about the poor you are a man that believes helping others, helping, philanthropist. You like to do charitable work. It's not only about you and your family. When God provides for you, you take a portion of that to those. That's Job. Job says he delivered the poor when they cried out, the fatherless and the one who had no helper. Verse 13 says, the blessing of a perishing man came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. He helped widows. That is the role of husbands, men in our society. Virtuous women, we had an episode where we talked about the role of virtuous women. Today we're talking about our men. What is their role? Number one, you submit to God. Give your life to Him. So commit your family to Him. Let the light of God direct your path in everything you do, in your business here. And then we wanted to use the life of Job. So, if you read Job 29 from 2 to 25, you will see exactly the life that Job lived. And he is the one that God approved. God says blameless. Yeah. God called him blameless. So that's another model of the role that we want in our men and our husbands. And then after this, we're going to talk about the specific things, specific roles. We're going to use just specific, characteristics or personalities that we also want to see. Because, for example, I want you to say something. As a young lady that is growing up in a family, and out there when you get old enough, mature enough to be married, I want you to just, there are some characteristics that we that I know every woman wants to see in a man. Tell us, what do you think, in your opinion, in your view, that is the role of a father in a home? What do you see? Sister Cynthia shared about her dad. What do you think about the role of our husband? Because I don't want it to be me talking about, at least we've shared the Bible and we know what the Bible says. Now I want to know, based on what you've heard us say, what do you think the role of a dad and men should be?
First of all, I'm in love with this topic because I have a lot to say about it.
Good.
Right. So I think a man close to God's heart, a father, a husband, I feel like he should be able to provide security in his household.
Amen. Yes.
Provide security emotionally, psychologically, but also financially.
Yes.
I know you hear, men should be the only one making money. I don't believe in that. I'm going to make money in my household too. You know what I mean? But I also expect a man to be responsible financially. Because if you're not, your woman will nag. You know what I mean? Your woman will nag if you're not financially responsible. And also support your family, your children in finding God. It's very important. Even your woman, if she hasn't found God, if she isn't a woman of God already, you should support her in finding God. It's super important to push your family in the direction God wants you to lead them in. And also bringing out time, effort into your household. Your kids, you might be working. I know it's tiring, it's really tiring, but when you come back home, separate a little time to spend with your kids, because they will remember it. Like my auntie said, they remember it for the rest of their lives. Yes. If you don't, you'll be sad about it on your dying bed, and your kids will be hurt. Yeah. In the long run, they will talk about it, and they will lack that emotional in their future. They will lack that emotional aspect.
Yes.
And lastly, dehumanizing yourself, all in the name of masculinity. we're all human.
Yeah.
When something bad happens, you cry.
Mm-hmm.
When something good happens, you smile, you laugh out loud.
Celebrate.
You thank God, you celebrate,
Celebrate.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're angry, of course, limit the anger. Don't do a lot. But express your anger, be expressive. There's nothing wrong with being expressive.
Right.
You're human. We're talking about the role of men,
Mm-hmm.
but we're all human. Women, men, children, even family, even animals cry. You cannot limit yourself to the feelings of a human being because you want to be masculine. And if you come across any woman that says they don't like men that cry, well, tell them to go marry an animal. Because they clearly cannot handle the emotions of humans. That's what humans do. They cry, they laugh, they sing, they do all those stuff. So don't dehumanize yourself because you want to be masculine. It's not attractive. It's not. Okay? And also be clean. Be clean. Your nails, there's nothing wrong with getting a manicure, pedicure. There's nothing wrong with it. Clean your nails, keep them short, dress nicely. You don't pull your pants up, tuck in your shirt, wear a belt. You present yourself in a manner of class. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how old you are. You can start at 10 years old, at 2 years old. Keep those shirts tucked in like a responsible man. It's very important because how other people perceive you matters.
Yes.
At workplace, in your school, wherever, it matters. And it shows the type of person you are, the household you grew up in. It shows all of that. So I believe those things are very important.
Thank you so much, Cherish. And just to feed from the last thing you said, by taking care of themselves, if they have young boys at home, they're showing their young men how to dress, how to present themselves. So thank you for sharing that. Wow. Out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we invited you to join us today.
I'm happy to be
Thank
here.
you for your opinion. And so basically, we just want to talk about a few qualities that are good to have in our man. And then, I'll just mention 6 of them, and we just quickly, if you have anything, I'll call, just to add to that. And the number 1 is honesty. Honesty is very important. You be honest to your wife. If something is wrong, if something happened, don't hide it from her. Don't hide it from her. You have to be open and say something. If it's something that happened, in our culture, sometimes Africa, sometimes a husband will hide something from the wife, or wife will hide something from her. Be honest. If something happened, be open. Your wife wants you to be honest and tell her the truth. Share with her. Spend time and share things with her. You like that, okay? And another quality is kindness. Kindness is very important in a man, And I just want someone to say something about that, I don't know, Sister Antonia, what do you have to say about kindness as a quality in a man, as a quality in a man, in a husband, kindness in the family? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, thank you, Oloma. Thank you, Cynthia, Cherish. You people are wonderful. You pointed out some very, very important qualities that a man, a father, a husband should have. Then kindness, like you mentioned them, Boaz, you have to be kind in the way you talk, the way you understand people around you, your wife, your children, even at work, the way you treat people around you. Even in the society, you be kind. Listen to people. Kindness is very important. You share. You mentioned philanthropy. It's good to be a philanthropist.
Yeah.
You know, you help people around you. Be sensitive to what is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Kindness. And then another quality is forgiveness. Forgiveness is very important in marriage. When your wife does something or says something, because like she said, you know, women, we nag sometimes. And in that nagging, you say something that because you're a woman, really. But we want our men to be forgiven. Have that quality in you. Forgive. And when you forgive. Don't remember it in the next 10 years. And then when something happens, you say, I remember how your mom, when she came to visit, and this and that happened. And, you know, so forgive.
Excuse me, on forgiveness. I believe because a lot of times God has forgiven us.
Yeah.
And then we don't forgive ourselves. So how am I able to forgive you if you don't forgive ourselves? So as men as well as women, we must learn to forgive ourselves and how it takes the Holy Spirit to enable us to forgive one another and ourselves. Maybe we've done something in the past. That's why Jesus Christ has died on the cross for us, to forgive our sins. But we don't have to rehatch it. I've done this in 1979 and 92 and 2000. It has been washed away. He has already forgiven. So therefore, even offense, a lot of people get offended, you know, and it becomes, they get angry from something that someone said years ago, or even a week ago.
Right.
They even forgot about it. But you have, and we have to pray to God to help us to forgive ourselves. This way I'm able to forgive others. This way I will not, you know, be have anger towards someone else. So forgiveness is so important, because if God forgive us for our countless sins, then we should be able to forgive one another.
Yes. And then another quality is being devoted to things of God. So when a man is devoted to things of God, they're devoted, that leads them to be devoted to their family, be devoted to their career, their business, their work, be devoted in the community, in volunteering, in helping. So I think that's very important for a man to be devoted. They make sure, you know, if you guys Christian, if you have Christian family, take your family to church. Make sure that God is a priority. Have family fellowship at home. You know, like COVID last year, most people couldn't go to church. We just started having family fellowship. You have to have family. A devoted man, make sure that you pray with your children, maybe in the morning or at night. Pray with your children. Devoted things to things of God. And another quality is wellness. Wellness. We talk about wellness, and Aka, you mentioned about wellness. You know, a man should take care of himself. Don't if you like alcohol, don't drink too much. Maybe 1 or 2 glasses a week. Don't drink too much. If you smoke, it's not good for you. Stop smoking. And if your wife is talking about quit smoking, stop it. Is, you know, because this woman wants you to live long and see your grandchildren enjoy life with her. You drink and smoke, it affects your health. You know, and if you're overweight, exercise. You know, we all exercise. Try our best, cut down what we eat, listen to the doctor. He says eat right. Take your medicine, go for checkup. Some of my men, they don't like to go for checkup. You tell them to go to, no, I don't want to know about the cholesterol. Let it stay there. I don't want to know. But you have to know, because if you don't know, it keeps mounting up, and one day you fall out, God forbid, and have heart attack. That's not good. Take care of yourself. You know, some men are so busy with their business, they go, making money, doing the business. You don't have time to relax. You know, relax, take care of yourself. Wellness is important in our men. We want our men to take care of themselves. Go for 1 year physical once. You get to age 50, they say do colonoscopy. Go for colonoscopy. Don't be afraid of the colonoscopy. You pray, commit it to God, and then go. And when there's coronavirus, they say take vaccine. Pray about it, and God leads you. You take the vaccine. Take care of yourself. Take the vitamins. Vitamins is important. Drink water. Drink water. So, and you know, be attractive to your wife. Maintain yourself. We want it. We like it.
And also to rest.
Rest.
Hours to sleep. They said, oh, you're on the computer and everything else. 1 or 2 hours. You get up. You go to bed at 3 o'clock. You get up at 5 o'clock. You have to rest. Not only sleep, but rest is so important. Even God rested. We must rest too. It's so important to rest.
Rest is important. Please, husbands, men, rest.
Yes.
Take time. Don't stay up till 2 a.m. watching basketball. And then wake up at 6 o'clock going to work. Please don't do it. go to bed early. Go to bed 10, 11. And, if you do it once a week, it's okay. Maybe on a Friday or Saturday, you want to watch the game. Don't every day you're watching basketball to 2 a.m. or you're doing something on the computer, like she said. You're working over. Please don't do it. Take care of yourselves. We want you to live long and see your children, grandchildren, and enjoy life with you. And then be a provider. Like she said, we want our men to provide for us. We are helpmates. God called us to help you guys, support. And we want you guys, because sometimes that's what causes problem in the family. The money talk, bills are piling up and the money's not coming. But we support our husbands as virtuous women, but we want them to, rise up and provide and go out there.
And also, to teach our children as well as ourselves, I like a man who invests.
Yes.
Not only provides, but he knows what to do with his money.
Because you build, the money comes.
Exactly.
You have to build the net for it.
You have savings, you have investments, whether it's stocks, and also teaches our children. They may we sold lemonade. Made $5, and then we put it in a piggy bank, and then we couldn't save that. But every week, and by the end of the year, we had $60, $5 times 12 is $60, and we call it a Christmas club.
Right.
And then that created interest. So, and then we had to teach our children not to always spend all the money that we bring in.
Exactly.
When my father came, I was referring to my father, when he came over here, he said with 5 cents, he could go to the movies, eat popcorn, hot dog, and have fun. And my father was a wealthy man during that time. So he knew what he knew what to do with his money. He invested, he saved it. To me, he was pretty tight, but he provided for the family.
Yes.
And so that's important.
That's very important. Teach your children. Like I started early when I learned. It's me and my husband would tell the children. I said, we use the 10, 20, 70 rule. You give 10% to church tithing. You 20% you save, and 70% you use for your things that you need. We started that because the oldest one is working now. We're trying to teach them, because when you save enough money, then you can invest it.
Yes.
And it starts, because that's how you make money. Money doesn't fall on trees. You have to build, like my mom will always say, build a house for it, it comes in. Building the house for the money is the investment. Once you have investment all over, then, so that's, we've covered. Yes, add to that. Go ahead.
Also, we provide financially, but also emotionally.
Yes.
Provide emotional support for your woman,
Thank
your kids,
you.
your family, your community. Be shoulders to
big.
lean on.
That is big. That is
do
big.
that.
That is big, and that comes in wellness.
Yes.
Because when you take care of yourself, then you can pour out to everybody else.
Exactly.
Because if you're exhausted, worn out, you can't touch the lives of others. You can't be emotionally connected to your family because you're spending time with so many other things. So emotion is very important. Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Our men, we want you to be emotionally connected to the wife. Listen to your wife. Spend time, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours a day, if possible, in the evening. Spend time with your wife. If you can't do that, then 1 day a week. Let it just be connection with your wife. That's what we expect from our husbands.
Something for her to look forward to.
She's something for her to look forward to. That emotional connection where both of you sit together and talk about how the week went, what's going on in the life of the children, how she's feeling, if she has her business or work, how is your work, how, just that time, that emotional connection that you have with the wife is very important. We love that emotional. So, one more thing. Go ahead. Yes.
A man with a fear of God. There's nothing more important.
Oh, yeah, that's number one. That's number one. That's number one. That's number one. That's number one.
Because a man with a fear of God in his heart will know that infidelity is not right.
Yes. And he's not being, infidelity is something that, to me, I believe that if he knows that my wife is not here, but God is here.
Right.
So God is watching what I'm doing. So that's why he wouldn't do it. Not because of the wife, because he's afraid of God. He has a fear of God in him. So that's number one. Fear of God.
And put that fear in your kids' heart.
Yes.
So
In
that
young
they can
boy, in
fear.
young men. Show them, guide them, show them. So, and that's our show for today. Thank you for tuning in. We're here in Houston, Texas, with the Ruth Generation Virtuous Women, and our information is on the screen. Our center is here on Bissonnet is 9819 Bissonnet, suite number F. So if you want to contact us, you can come to our center. And the phone number to reach us would be, Jeanette, give us the phone number.
832 858 5996.
So if you want to contact us, call the number, or you just come to the center and you know more about us. And thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.